perfect Thursday during the middle of the summer. And I know last week we didn't get to go live. I was a little busy out in a different city than usually. Chat Sports celebrating a little something. But even though it is the offseason and look, there is not much going on when it comes to football season. We are waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for exactly 1 month from now, Patriots training camp. But until then, we have a lot of rumors to talk about, some news, but there is always something. And we always go live every single Thursday, when I'm in town, at least. But there are plenty of things to talk about, and we got 3 segments for you on today's show. So, as we start every single show, I want you to go down in the comments and Trav, oh my Lord. Shout out your city down below. I want to hear from you. Oh man, we're starting off strong. Trav, USOB. You, my Lord, my Lord. Dark Lord, what's going on in LA? Secret JR Gaming's out in Boston. Noble Edwards, El Campo, Texas. I don't know what YouTube does now with like translating. Have you seen this, JD, of like YouTube like translating comments? I really don't understand it.
Yeah, I've been catching that. It's weird.
It's very weird. But shout out Noble Edwards in Texas, Nick Flagg in Bangor, Maine, Raymond in Pasco, Washington, Charlicia in Boston, Chris Clark, I see you're back, my guy. Shane Perry in Austin, Texas, David Melvin in Milo, Maine. And no, it wasn't that. It was not that, Chris Clark. I was celebrating a parade, though. I will say that. Mike Burdett in Cincinnati, Akron area. Isn't that like super far away from one another? Isn't Akron close to Cleveland? Isn't Akron? Clifford is in Oneida, New York, the 315. Shout out to you. John Snyder in Willard, Missouri. But Trav is here, and he wants to see it. We got a $50 super chat from your boy, Trav Bang! From the captain of the squad. Hey, Pats fans, been a while since the Super Bowl loss, but we're still here, as Tom Brady would say back in the day. New revamped O-line, and now AJ and Romeo Dobbs. Santa, all I want for Christmas is the NFL back. Shout out to Haywood. Shout out to Haywood. And I'll save a little pause. Did you blow me? Oh, get out of here, Mike. Oh, get out of here, Mike. Anybody else screen freeze? I hope. Well, it's Trav. I see it here that we're still good. I see we're still good. No, I think we're still good. Of course, Clifford. Of course. What's going on, Anointed Stan? How we doing? I saw you joining. I was on our Chat Sports live show for the NBA draft yesterday. I was doing that, and also on Tuesday, me and Nick Roloff, we were having a little bit of fun. So we're enjoying ourselves, but football always comes first. Football's my first love, and then it's basketball. But basketball's pretty close. Antonio Lopez coming in with a 20. Shout out to you. Sam Mile, I will say this. We are doing a mailbag on today's show. If you use hashtag Patriots with that question, we will be able to answer it on the mailbag. Alexander watched only a little bit. Can you reread your super chat? Your screen froze. Well, I saw Haywood. He said, shout out Haywood. But all you want for Christmas is the NFL to be back. I want the NFL to be back more than anything, Trav. More than anything, because I'm so bored. I like people as you get older, and for any kids that are watching, as you get older, summer becomes lame. It's lame. It's hot. I know, Anointed Stan. It's a very interesting combo. I've been hearing it my whole entire life, but that's it. But JD, yeah, it's so boring, man. I love going to the pool, but there's been times, man, like it's been 9 o'clock, and usually I'm used to watching basketball or anything, and all I'm doing is just boring-ass baseball.
Just summer doesn't hit the same anymore.
It does not hit the same anymore when you got to go to work every day. Hey, that's okay. What's up, Calvin? What's going on, Calvin? But shout out to Antonio Lopez coming in with a 20 with a big emoji. You are amazing. No, you're amazing. You're amazing, Antonio Lopez. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. If you have a question for our mailbag, you can get it down in the comments section. Hashtag Patriots. Doesn't hit the same when your team is 32-46? No, it does not, Steven. It does not. College World Series t-shirt. Chris Clark, I heard it got rigged. I heard it was rigged. Yeah, I've been watching the World Cup. The World Cup has been exciting. But the World Cup is going to end, July 19th, July 11th, something like that. It goes for a while, but it's not the same as football. It's not the same as real football. Not the same. Trav, no. No. Wanted your Rockets to get LaMelo? Your Rockets will get somebody. They need to go out and make a move. Maybe it's for Jaylen Brown. We'll have to wait and see. I doubt it, but maybe you'll be dealing with Fred VanVleet. The Bucks absolutely robbed the Heat. Nah, I liked it. The Heat won the trade. See, Charlicia knows the deal. Do you think the Pats will win? I think you mean the AFC East and the Super Bowl. We'll see. Shout out to Chris Clark, though, coming in with a 5. I should have a 2026 Super Bowl t-shirt and a 2026 College World Series t-shirt. I heard the College World Series was kind of rigged. Trav, yeah. There's going to be 4 teams now in the Eastern Conference. And, I mean, we are talking basketball on a football show here. But the Knicks, the Heat, the Celtics, I guess you could say the Pistons, you could say the Hawks, you could say the Cavs. We'll see what happens. Those NFC West teams are good. Are the Cardinals good? I mean, the Rams. Who's beating the Rams, man? Chris Clark coming in with the 5. Look, this has the Super Bowl logo on it, and I like the shirt, so I'm going to keep wearing it, but I refuse to buy AFC Championship gear. I don't want any. It is just going to remind me of sad times. I could have been the double champ, JD, but I am not. Just watch it was not the same. Division's a cakewalk. I mean, the Bills are tough, man. The Jets and the Dolphins are trash. Those are 4 free wins. Joshua, would you want to trade a tight end over another wide receiver? There you go. Hashtag Patriots no. Tammy saying, I'm upset that Diggs is getting traded. Diggs is a free agent, so we cut Diggs. We let him go, so he's free to sign with any other team, and we're choosing not to bring him back, according to Mike Vrabel. We got 3 segments for you guys on today's show, and it's a rumor-filled show because Bleacher Report, they came up with this wild trade idea that I saw, and I was just like, what? No? Why? But it involves Shedeur Sanders, and it involves Kayshon Boutte, and it involves the Patriots getting a wide receiver. So we're going to talk about it. And then, of course, if you guys pay attention to what's going on, as Trav says, if Gabe Akis doesn't play, are we worried about our edge and linebacker depth? Well, this has to deal with a reunion brewing because right now, Gabe Akis still has yet to sign his contract, and he has not been practicing at all this offseason. So there could be a reunion brewing with a certain Patriots edge rusher that went on Instagram Live 2 days ago wearing a whole entire Go Patriots hoodie, which is interesting. And then, of course, we end our show with our mailbag, hashtag Patriots, as we get all of our questions in. We can still got 80 people in the chat right now. Hit that thumbs up icon. G-Boy Films coming in with a 5, and he's using a hashtag, so that means he automatically gets added to our mailbag. And yes, Trav, it is Matthew Judon. Apparently, Joey Bosa, reported, is he's never going to play another NFL snap. That was the big rumor that came out. So we can rule him off our boards, off our kind of free agent targets, because from what Mike Florio had an article about is that, he has played his final down in the NFL and he is not returning. Joshua, do you see the Patriots trading for Max Crosby from the Raiders? It's a good question. I would think about it, but you want to let go of another first-round pick is my question. When you already gave up a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. That's where I'm kind of like, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not willing to give up another first-round pick. You gave up one. You got your player. This would be, if you're going to give up another first-round pick, you were going all in, and you're doing exactly what the Rams are doing. But the difference between the Rams and the Patriots is the Rams have a quarterback that's 38 years old. The Patriots have a quarterback that's 23 years old. We have a large and long future with Drake May as our quarterback. The Rams, they got like 1 or 2 more years of Matthew Stafford. So do we really? That's why they're going all in. They're putting all their chips in and saying, screw it. We don't care about our future. We want a ring right now. And that's why Aaron Donald is probably going to come back, and they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. And, well, I hope we make the Super Bowl. So do I think we have a possibility to beat the Rams? I did last year, so I don't think that's going to change this year, especially once I see what this team can do on the field, because I think they've improved. You guys saw the video I posted 2 days ago about some random guy at CBS saying the Patriots had one of the worst off seasons, which I really don't understand why he had that, but I'm not going to get into that. He's a little old now. He's declined, but we wouldn't need him to do much. If he can get a 7 sack, Judon ain't giving us 7 sacks, bro. Judon ain't giving us 7 sacks. That's not happening. That's not happening. Did that super chat come up from G-Boy Films? Mr. JD. And shout out to JD. It's his birthday today. Turning a bright 24. Even though you look like you're 30. Shout out to G-Boy. Would you rather get another wide receiver or get an edge rusher? I'd rather get an edge rusher and keep Boutte. Well, I think that we're going to try. I would rather get an edge rusher. I would rather get an edge rusher more than anything. I don't think the Patriots need another wide receiver. And can you keep Boutte? You could, but the Patriots keep getting calls. And somebody's going to call up and give an offer you can't refuse, especially when you have right now 7 wide receivers on the roster, and I see the Patriots only keeping 6. And you want to have a backup slot receiver that involves Efton Chisholm and also Pop Douglas. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll find out. With that bald ass head. He's got too much testosterone. Way too much testosterone. And JD's return. When was the last time you were on here? Draft? Was it draft? Free agency? I can't remember.
I think it was draft. And thank you to everyone for the birthday wishes. Appreciate it. I know I look like I'm 40 already. I've been hearing that since I was like in middle school. I've been hearing that.
When was the last time you've been carded?
I can't even remember. It's definitely been probably since like first move for college.
Sheesh.
Probably
So you could just go into a liquor store when you were, well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. We do things the right way here.
I definitely was able to get a few drinks without having to bring up my ID, to say the least. I'll put it that way.
Trav says you do your dad's taxes.
I don't even know taxes.
Oh, man. All right. We got 100 people in the chat right now. Let's get at least 10 more likes, and then we can start today's show. Start talking about this wild trade rumor that Bleacher Report just chalked up, and I really don't understand, but I want to see what you guys think about this one. So, if you want the show to start, all it takes is hitting that little thumbs up icon. If you're watching your phone like this, you just turn it this way, you hit that thumbs up icon, and there you go. It is super easy. We now have over 100. It is free. It is common courtesy. If you're coming into the channel, you're helping me do a better job. If I could help you do a better job, I would do the same exact thing. So go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon right now. You got carded on Father's Day. Exactly, Lopar. 100 people, and not even 40 people have hit that thumbs up icon. It's so easy. I've gotten so used to now when I'm on YouTube and I just watch a video, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, half the time I'm watching Patriots highlights from back in the day for some random. I think the other day I tuned into some Matt Castle highlights for some odd reason from the 2008 season. And the first thing I did was just click the thumbs up icon. That's all it is. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. 40 got carded Sunday. She knew the deal. Hey, that's a compliment, though. Me, when I'm clean shaven, you guys haven't seen me clean shaven in about a year because the last time I shaved was during football season after we lost to the Buffalo Bills. That was the last time I shaved and, well, not trimmed, but I look like I'm 20. So I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. All right, we got to 48 likes. I know 2 more of you guys are going to do that. So let's get into our first cut of the day, our first segment, and we're talking about this wild trade rumor. And, well, I know a lot of people are going to enjoy how much it involves Shedeur Sanders, but no, Shedeur will not be going to New England. But let's get into it. Keep asking those questions. We are in the dog days of the NFL offseason, where we've already ended OTAs and minicamp. We are waiting exactly 1 month for Patriots training camp. So we're in the dog days with a whole bunch of NFL rumors. And Bleacher Report came out with this wild trade rumor that suggests the Patriots make a 3-team trade that involves Shedeur Sanders. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports, presented by PrizePicks. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. I am your host, Brett Alper, and it's a 3-team trade. And I will mention this before we get into it. No, this is not Shedeur Sanders going to New England. But everybody saw Shedeur in all bright lights. It is not. It is a wide receiver going to New England, and Kayshon Boutte is also involved in that trade. We'll get into it in a second, but before we do that, we are on the road to 50K, ladies and gentlemen, and we're getting closer and closer and closer. And look, it's the dog days of the summer. Not a lot of people are watching football content, but shout out to all the real ones that still tune in every single day. But if you're new here, we give you Patriots content every day. And it doesn't matter what it is. News, rumors, analysis, we talk about it here on the channel. So help us get to 50K subs. Let's do it before the start of training camp. 752 away. All right, let's get into what the trade will be from Bleacher Report. I'm just going to show you guys right away. So the Patriots are going to receive Michael Wilson. Interesting decision if the Patriots wanted to make this trade when they already have a ton of wide receivers. The Cardinals receive Shedeur Sanders, Kayshon Boutte, and a Browns 2027 4th-round pick. And then the Browns, they receive former Patriots quarterback Jacoby Brissett and also our 2027 3rd-round pick. And here's what Bleacher Report said about the trade and why the Patriots would do this. They said Michael Wilson had a breakout campaign in 2025, finishing with over 1,000 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns. However, he's entering the final year of his rookie deal and may not be getting an extension this offseason. According to ESPN's Dan Graziano, New England has received calls on Boutte since acquiring A.J. Brown from the Eagles. Sanders supposedly competing with Deshaun Watson for Cleveland's starting job, but there's been speculation that he isn't in the Browns' long-term plans. But the first thing that I thought in my head was, the Patriots adding another wide receiver when you're keeping a bunch on the roster. You're trading away Kayshon Boutte, and why are we trading away Kayshon Boutte? Well, because we already have so many receivers. Why would we add another receiver? It really doesn't make sense. But I will say that Michael Wilson has a ton of talent, and he's still a very, very young receiver. Because when it comes to Kayshon Boutte, he only has like 500 yards max in his career when you look at what he's done in his years. But Michael Wilson, you could see last year, 79 receptions, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. And he has gotten better and better every single year of his career. When you look at his rookie season in 2023, he had 38 receptions, then got up to 47, then got up to 78, and the touchdowns increased, and the yards per catch kind of stayed around 13 yards per catch. But when you look at specifically what his kind of PFF depth stats look like, because I'm always looking for those deep target wide receivers, because you already have Pop Douglas. You have A.J. Brown that can kind of be anywhere on the field at all times. But when you look at the deep throws, like, yeah, Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback, but they were still literally throwing the ball to him 23 times. He only had 8 receptions and 3 touchdowns. And the targets were mainly in that middle of the field. That's where you kind of find him where he could actually benefit the Patriots. The only problem is this just doesn't make any sense. This really doesn't make any sense from a standpoint of why would Bleacher Report even do that? You're telling me that the Patriots are going to give up a 3rd-round pick just to get a receiver when you already have Romeo Doubs, A.J. Brown. You have a rising player in Kayshon Boutte, and you're just going to get rid of him and a 3rd-round pick for another wide receiver? It is a very, very dumb decision for Bleacher Report to even mention this trade just for the Patriots to get rid of Kayshon Boutte. You're trading away a wide receiver to bring in another wide receiver when you already have a ton of talent. It's just very, very dumb in my opinion. And I'm going to go into more depth on why I just think this is so stupid, because I really do. But before we do that, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor of today's show, and that is SeatGeek. Today's show is made possible by SeatGeek, and when it's time to get out of the house, there's not many better options right now than a baseball game. And use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. Look, the Red Sox kind of blow, but I always love going to baseball games no matter what. And with SeatGeek being MLB's official ticket marketplace, your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. But if it's not a Red Sox game you're looking to go to, if you want to save your money like a smart human being and go and get your Patriots tickets down the road, put it in your calendar right now, you can do that on SeatGeek. And it could be a football game, baseball game, concert. It does not matter. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know that you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And of course, I got a code for you guys. You guys can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. I'll say it again. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the comments and description of today's video so you can download the app and have it the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Appreciate SeatGeek for being our sponsor of today's show. So again, I mentioned this a million times. Right now, the Patriots, this is the best Patriots wide receiver kind of room they've had in years. A.J. Brown, Pop Douglas, Romeo Doubs, Kyle Williams, Efton Chisholm, Kayshon Boutte, and you got your glue guy in Mac Hollins. It's the best room that they've had. They've already upgraded not once in A.J. Brown, but twice with Brown and Romeo Doubs. I like Michael Wilson. I think he's a great player, but why would it be worth it to give up a kind of another draft pick when you already have your number 1 and your number 2 wide receiver? You have Kayshon Boutte. You also have a rising star in Kyle Williams. I love Pop Douglas, and I think Efton Chisholm is an absolute dog. And if you want to go into even further details, it would be a rental for Michael Wilson. It would be a rental. You're giving up a 3rd-round pick and getting rid of a guy who's going to, let's say he's getting an extension in Kayshon Boutte, but he's going to get paid. But Michael Wilson is also on the last year of his deal, and he is going to get paid. So what would that contract look like? Because, look, Michael Wilson is going to be a solid player. And I think in the 2026 season, granted, I think the Cardinals are going to be the worst team in football, but it is going to cost them an extreme amount of money when you get down the line. His market value is 4 years, $73.1 million. You do the math here. I'll do it quick in my head because I'm good with math. That's around $18 million. Are you going to be willing to pay $18 million for a wide receiver 3 when you're already paying Romeo Doubs $80 million? You're going to have to pay Gonzo this offseason where he's going to get like $160 million. You're going to have to pay Drake May, who's going to get $250 million. And you already are paying Milton Williams over $100 million. So you're going to pay Doubs $80, Michael Wilson $80, Drake May $250, Gonzo $130, Milton Williams $100. They don't have the money for that. They don't have the money. The Patriots do not have the money to go out and sign all of the players in the world. That just would not make sense. So basically, you're sending a third-round pick just to get rid of Kayshon Boutte to bring in a wide receiver. It does not make any sort of sense. It is a very, very, very dumb trade by Bleacher Report to go out there and say, yeah, I think this three-team trade would really do good for the Patriots, when they already sent over a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. You don't want to send over a high day 1 or day 2 draft pick when you are trying to save for the future. It's really, really stupid, and I'm not doing that in any way, shape, or form. I'll ask you guys, because I can already see you, if you're in our live chat while we're filming this, that everybody is saying absolutely not. So if you're with me, go down in the comments section and go give me a P for pass, because anybody that says T for trade just loves to play Madden and doesn't understand how football actually works. We also have a question of the day for you guys for our prize picks lineups. And Travion Henderson's rushing projection is listed at 699.5. So, do you think he's going to get more, or do you think he's going to get less? Imagine if they added Michael Wilson. If New England added Michael Wilson, then that number would probably go down. But I think New England's going to rush the ball a lot. I think he's going to be projected to have a breakout year. So you let me know down in the comments, and you could also get your projections right now on Prize Picks and make a season-long lineup with the rushing yards or with the rushing touchdowns at 5.5. Because, guys, Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. And football is just over 2 months away. But you guys can also make lineups on baseball, big soccer tournaments, motorsports. It does not matter. You guys can also follow me on the app to see all my lineups at The Real Alper. Get the picks before they even get posted on the show. Also, follow your friends, share lineups, or explore your favorite celebrity lineups. And, guys, the app is super easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. There's a new user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. We'll have that link in the comments and description of today's show. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So they have the Patriots trading for another wide receiver, but ESPN's Mike Reiss also suggested that the Patriots wide receiver room could be very overcrowded. And I sort of agree with him when it is in a sense of, yeah, the Patriots kind of have a lot of wide receivers. Here's what he said. He said, would the Patriots keep 7 receivers on the 53-man roster with the first practice at training camp scheduled for exactly 1 month from now, July 25th? The next month provides a springboard to examine some of the team's most compelling questions. How the logjam at receiver shakes out is near the top of the list. And I'll show you the Patriots wide receiver depth chart again. Where is the 7th wide receiver if we keep a 7th wide receiver on the team? Is that going to happen? And my question that I have is there really a need for 7 wide receivers? Because I think with the Patriots and the way their system is, that there's not going to be that many people that kind of fit in this system and what they need for this role. Because I made a list of what the wide receiver roles could be for the Patriots going into next season. Obviously, you have A.J. Brown as your superstar wide receiver 1. You have Romeo Doubs as your wide receiver 2. Pop Douglas is your slot guy. Kayshon Boutte, kind of your backup to A.J. Brown or to Romeo Doubs. Kyle Williams is your gadget guy. I want them to use Kyle Williams in a sense of, hey, we're going to have you go deep. We're going to have you do jet sweep. And then Matt Collins is your veteran glue guy who's like 33 years old. And then you have Efton Chisholm as the backup slot wide receiver. But that's why I think Kayshon Boutte could be traded. But the Patriots are not new to keeping 7 wide receivers on the roster. They have done it so many times before. They have done it in 2023. They did it in 2022. I'm pretty sure they did it in 2019 when the Patriots were loaded up at wide receivers and then everybody got hurt. They are not new to this sort of thing on the team. But me, if you had to ask me, I believe the Patriots will trade Kayshon Boutte and then keep 6 wide receivers on the roster. I think they want to get some of that draft capital back that they used to, 1, trade for A.J. Brown, and 2, some of those picks they traded for to move up in the NFL draft. So we'll have to wait and see, but right now I still think that the Patriots we'll trade Kayshon Boutte. But it just, for me, with how the offense is, with what Josh McDaniels does, because he also uses some of the running backs. Like, we're going to see Travion Henderson. If Lan Larison makes this roster, and even Ramondre Stevenson, sometimes they line up wide receiver. It doesn't make sense to keep 7 on the roster when they will barely even use 6. We saw last year when they kept 6. Efton Chisholm was a healthy scratch for the first 14 weeks of the season. They are going to keep 6 on this roster, and I think that's what they are going to do. But I'll ask you guys before we get on out of here. Will the Patriots keep 6 or 7 wide receivers on the roster? You let me know down in the comments. Just comment a 6 or comment a 7 down below. Let me know. And also go ahead and hit that sub button. We are 1 month away from Patriots training camp, and that's when it really gets exciting. So you're not going to want to miss out right there. We got you leading up to it. Hit that sub button right now. And as always, let's go Pats. Oh, I did not expect to talk for that long. It does make sense, Tycoon. And I agree. I think Kyle Williams should be used like a Deebo Samuel. Granted, he does need to get a little bit more muscle on him because he is very, very skinny. I got to talk to him in person at the Christian Gonzalez celebrity basketball game, which was pretty cool. And I'll be honest, I don't want to brag, but I'm bigger than a lot of these guys. Like, I wonder if you guys can, let's see if you can see this picture. Because, I mean, I could always just send it in. But, like, I mean, Pop Douglas's grill was really cool, but I'm just about a little bit bigger than Pop Douglas. Like, yeah. Same with Gonzo. I was like, I mean, Gonzo, a lot bigger than me. Yeah.
It's not that much bigger.
I was just like, wow.
Dude, but you and Pop Douglas, that's pretty close. I was not expecting him to look that small.
Oh, Pop Douglas is a very, very small guy. I was very, very surprised. Also wearing the same shirt, but
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt here. I'll send it to you, Mr. Sanchez. No, not Santino. Mr. Sanchez. Yeah, I mean, Pop Douglas is 5'8". I'm 5'10". So obviously I'm leaning forward. Did I see the video of Gabe Akis working out in a Patriots shirt? I saw Pop Douglas working out. You're 6'6". I wish I was like 6 foot. I didn't get to 6 foot. I got to 5'10", and that was about it. Got to 5'10" when I was 15 years old, and I never grew again. Drop Douglas, more like Trip Douglas, because the man always trips. Yeah, one corrupt file. Julian was 5'10". Whenever I need a haircut, I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow. And this is kind of embarrassing, but I'll say it anyway. It's for the last 5 years of my life. I've been going into a barber like whenever, because I've lived in Kentucky, I've lived in Pennsylvania, I've now lived in Dallas. And whenever the first time I go in, I show him a picture of Julian Edelman and I say, give me his haircut. I'm not joking. I'm literally like, because I mean, I'm 5'10". I mean, kind of the same type of build as Edelman. I'm like, yeah, give me the same exact haircut. Give me that little fade on the sides. I mean, my hair is getting way too long. I haven't got a haircut in like 2 months. But, yeah, that trade was very dumb. I'm not trading for Michael Wilson. Oh, if I was 6'3", it'd be dangerous. It'd be very dangerous. Probably. At least D2. I could barely see over the line. I'm playing flag football on Monday. Somebody asked me to play on their team on Monday, and I was like, sure. I was like, yeah. I'm down. I'm like, I don't have any cleats. At least I don't think. Yeah, I don't know where mine went. I had the Nike Vapors. Nike Vapors. All right. talking about, you found we still had the old Judon pictures, right? In the NFL old? Yeah. I saw them. Get you some lifts in your shoes. Joe Weather, I wish I was going to training camp, but I'll be here. I've never been to Patriots training camp. I've never been. I've been to preseason games up at Foxborough. I've never been to a training camp. I don't know why. I think it's just because when I was in high school, we start school in Delaware, like, I guess it would be July, so it really doesn't matter. I don't know why I haven't. I don't think so.
Not really, unless we ask or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Trav, I have no money right now, man. I spent $1,000 to go to Game 2 of the NBA Finals, and then I spent $700 on a flight to New York last week. I'm broke. I am broke. Oh, it was 100% worth it. I also, in February, I went to the Daytona 500, which was another $300, $400 flight. I've spent so much money this year on just doing everything that I possibly can. Yeah, we need to let him know, Chris Clark. Fly me up to New England. Fly me up to Logan Airport. All right, let's talk about a reunion brewing in New England. Keep asking your questions, those guys. We got a mailbag coming up. I got to make some money on some Prize Picks lineups. It's good to be right. No, there we go. I should just use my left hand, man. It's good to be right. I lost my lineup this morning. I lost another one yesterday. I did, Chris Clark. I did. I did. I'm gonna post a picture on Instagram, and y'all people are gonna be like, Patriots videos, and then this picture? What? I don't know. I don't think I have. Maybe Calvin. I'm not really looking for them. I don't know what specifically they look like. But let's get into it. Keep asking your questions for the mailbag, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag Patriots and 123 martial artists. I sure hope so, man. But let's get into it. A reunion possibly brewing with a former Patriots edge rusher. So we talked about this last month, but after seeing what this guy did on Instagram Live the other day, well, it's brought up questions on should the Patriots bring back Matthew Judon. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports, presented by Prize Picks. I am your host, Brett Alper. And yes, a fan favorite edge rusher could be brought back before the 2026 season. So that grants the question, well, if you guys didn't realize who I'm talking about, could the Patriots bring back Matthew Judon? I wish it was a Red Sleeves picture. What are we doing, Sam Brown, with our big cans? Mr. Red Sleeves himself. Back what he did in 2021 and 2022 was awesome. But with everything that's going on with the New England Patriots, especially with the edge rush room, which we'll get to in a second, that bears the question on should they go out and sign him. And if you like reunions back for the New England Patriots, I know last year we talked about a lot of Stephon Gilmore and it didn't happen. A lot of you wanted it to happen. We've brought back players in the past like a Brandon Bolden, like a LeGarrette Blount, like a Patrick Chung. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up icon, like the video so I can see all of you. But for the reason why I asked this question is, the first one is the Patriots, right now they need an edge rusher. They need to have some security and have some depth to this edge rush room because right now, as of this moment, they have 3 starters. Or I should say rotational pieces, because I'm not going to call Quintavious Hutchins or Xavier Holmes or Braden Swinson guys that deserve or have earned their spot to be on the field. Because right now you have Elijah Ponder, and I love Elijah Ponder. I think he's going to be a star. You have your 2 starters in Jones and Landry, but Gabe Akis still has yet to sign his contract. And Chad Graff, he did an article a couple days ago, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but he added some more details to the situation. He said the fact that Akis has missed all of spring due to a knee procedure, the Patriots are being coy about and remains unsigned is very least unusual and at worst a troubling sign. The Patriots need Gabe Akis. As I've said before, they do. They traded up because they couldn't afford to leave the second round without getting an edge rusher, which is probably their weakest position. And right now, Akis is the only second-round pick of the entire NFL draft that has been left unsigned. And that's a problem because he hasn't practiced at rookie minicamp, he hasn't practiced at OTAs, and he hasn't practiced at mandatory minicamp. So that means Gabe Akis, especially as a rookie, is falling behind. And Chad Graff also added this. He said the Patriots used the number 55 pick on a player they're having a meaningful contract dispute with, who didn't participate in spring workouts, who missed every full team practice, and who underwent an unknown procedure, and it's not quite clear whether the team signed off on that surgery. And he added this. All of that is pretty concerning. And if he thinks it's concerning, and if it is concerning, that's where the Patriots need to look at a veteran edge to fill the void, because you cannot go into the 2026 season with 3 players that can play. Now, I love all 3 of those guys, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, but if someone gets hurt, we don't know if Harold Landry is 100%. He was limited in minicamp. He's still dealing, kind of rehabbing that knee injury that he suffered. Draymond Jones is brand new. He's still getting acclimated to this system. Elijah Ponder steps in. But if someone gets hurt, you need another player. That's where Matthew Judon comes into play and bears the question of should the Patriots bring him back onto this team. And what kind of brought back up these questions on, hey, maybe we can bring him back? Well, he went on Instagram Live the other day, and granted, he didn't really talk about playing anything, but he was repping this hoodie, wearing a Go Pats hoodie, and he was going live talking just in general. He didn't mention the Patriots, but that just means that, hey, he could be wanting to play for the Patriots or always loves his time here in New England. And we know that Matthew Judon is getting up there in age. Let's be honest here. Age 33. He's getting a little bit older, and not what he once was. You can see his stats with the Patriots. 38 games played, 32 sacks. But recently, it hasn't really been that much. It hasn't really been that great. But if you remember a month ago, well, he did speak about still wanting to play in the NFL. And he had this quote, says, "I'm still working out. So whatever happens, happens. Eventually, it's not up to you. It's been 10 years. So I'd be content, but I feel like I've still got something left. I still feel like there's not too many people better than me, but it's not up to me." And when you look at his last couple of years, well, he had no sacks. He did have 5.5 in 2024 with the Atlanta Falcons. I think that was with the Atlanta Falcons after the Patriots traded him. But 19 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Not that great. In 2023, he only had 4 sacks. Mr. JD, do we have to go to a sponsor before we do? Because I don't know if we have our little time here left, but if not, we can still keep going. But I will say, for Matthew Judon, it's not the best production. It's not the greatest production that he's had, because he really needs to you need to have someone who's going to be on this team that gets at least 5 to 6 sacks. And there's one thing that I'll mention in a bit. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. I use Prize Picks every single day, ladies and gentlemen, because why? It's the best place to win cash while watching sports. Basketball is not over, but the fun doesn't stop on Prize Picks. Big golf tournaments are also big. Soccer tournament going on. Baseball's in full swing. And, of course, I do motorsports every single Sunday on Prize Picks. Personally, love sports, love making daily fantasy lineups. You guys can follow me on the app to see all my lineups at The Real Alper. Get the picks before they even get posted on the show. And I got a season-long lineup for you guys. We got the more on A.J. Brown at 999.5 receiving yards. We got the more on Drake May touchdowns at 24.5, and we got the more on Travion Henderson at 699.5 rushing yards. You can make a lineup just like that, guys. The app is super easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. And we got a new user offer. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. So I mentioned that Matthew Judon has not had great production. And there's one moment that I want to bring up is if we remember week 2 when he was playing with the Miami Dolphins, Drake May outran him so easily. But I will say, even though I think the Patriots need to add an edge rusher, it seems, though, that they are staying put. Because when you look at this tweet and his report from Greg Bedard from, I think, 10 days ago, the Patriots are, quote, mildly annoyed about the situation with Gabe Backus. But they're not frustrated or upset with the rookie. So that tells me that they're still kind of confident that he could be ready for the season. And then during mandatory minicamp, Mike Vrabel was asked about the edge room, and he said, it's a good group. I'm excited about adding Draymond Jones, the development of Elijah Ponder, Braden Swinson, adding Jesse Luketa, and also some young guys. So if Mike Vrabel is very confident and happy with the edge group that they have right now, it seems like that the Patriots will not go out and sign a edge rusher. It doesn't seem like they're going to go out and sign a player or sign Matthew Judon. I saw a report that it said that Joey Bosa has most likely played his last snap in the NFL. So it's looking like that he won't be signed. But overall, I still think the Patriots need to bring in somebody. But it looks like they're going to go against my word. But I'm just a guy that talks here on YouTube and not Mike Vrabel or Elliott Wolf. And they will be staying put. Would you bring back Matthew Judon? I probably wouldn't. I'd probably go after someone else, some guy that probably has a little more production, but it'd be cool. I loved Red Sleeves when he was here, but give me an S for sign or P for pass down below. Now, I say they're not going to bring in an edge rusher, but I do think that the Patriots are looking at some tight ends. I think that the Patriots are going to want to bring in a tight end. And why? Well, because you heard it from the man himself, Mike Vrabel, and they asked him after the injury to Julian Hill, where are you guys at? And he said, just from an under standpoint at camp, I think that is somewhere where we will probably have to evaluate the numbers. I mean, there are 91 guys on the team. So we will just have to take a look at that. But I would say that is probably somewhere where we would have to address. And there is one guy that the Patriots could be eyeing as a potential cut candidate if he is available and cut. And there's one guy that I would love for the Patriots to go out and get. Musket Fire. They had this quote, and he said, they said, coming off career highs across the board, veteran Colby Parkinson carries a $9 million cap charge for the 2026 season, the final year of his contract. While the Rams could sign him to an extension, they have another option on the table. Release the 27-year-old and save $7 million. So if he is released, the Patriots should 100% target the tight end and go after Colby Parkinson. And why? Well, because I think that he is an actual low-key kind of a dog. I mean, 6'7", 266 pounds, and still somewhat young. 43 catches, 408 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's exactly what you want out of a guy that is probably going to be the number 2 or number 3 tight end on the team. And he has gotten better and better each and every single one of his career. He played a couple seasons with the Seattle Seahawks, then comes over to the Los Angeles Rams, and he was a dog in 2025, playing in 15 games. 43 catches, 408 yards. I think it was that one throw, what was it, the playoff game against the Carolina Panthers where he had an amazing touchdown. Imagine him on the New England Patriots. That would be great. 9.5 yards per catch, right behind Eli Raridan. Sign me up. And his PF grades are still very, very solid. 75.4. The run blocking grade, because that's what you're really looking at for a stance of Julian Hill. How is he in the blocking game? Pass blocking grade could use some work, but the run blocking grade at 66.6, that's bad luck. But I still like as high as that is. Now, I think it would be a great upgrade, but I was talking to our Rams host here at Chat Sports, Jackson Durham, and he absolutely said, yeah, that's not happening. We're keeping Colby Parkinson. He was like, No, we are not cutting him whatsoever. The Rams, they have a plan, and they use 4 tight ends on the roster. So you have to probably think that, well, this is a great option for the Patriots if it were to happen because it looks good on paper. $7 million in cap space that the Rams would save as they have loaded up on every single person. And they're going to also probably bring back Aaron Donald, but I highly doubt the Rams cut him. We'll see what happens. It would be a great upgrade, but I wouldn't count on it happening. My pick is still 100% Pharaoh Brown. I'm 100% bringing him back. Get me that reunion. Get me that reunion for the New England Patriots. Have him come back. Have him be the Patriots, a great blocker, some guy that can kind of be the glue. Also, teach a little bit to some of the younger guys like Eli Raridon. I think it'd be a perfect fit for the year as Julian Hill recovers from his season-ending injury. If you want the Patriots to go out and sign a tight end, let me know down in the comments section. Actually, go ahead and hit that thumbs up icon, ladies and gentlemen. It's free, it's easy, and it shows me just how much you care about you wanting this team to get better. Also, go ahead and hit that sub button. We are just under a month away from Patriots training camp, and we're going to make videos for you guys every day leading up to it, giving you guys previews, in-depth analysis on some of these players. So don't miss out on a single thing. Hit that sub button right now, and as always, let's go Pats. Whew. Sith critic, Pop Alper, copyright. You're okay, Moses. You're okay, my guy. You're still here. You're still here. Pop is more ripped. Why do I look the same height as Pop? Because I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. What? I was like 1 inch. That's a lot. That's a lot. 1 inch is a ton. A ton. What's up, Peppers? What's going on, Peppers? How we doing? We got one more segment for you guys, and of course, it's our mailbag where we get to involve you. No, I'm 5'10". I'm leaning in, and I'm still like an inch taller than Pop. Fun fact, I'm 6'4". Moonspell, how much for this shirt? Like, how much did I pay for it? No, I'm 5'10" without shoes on. I'm 5'11" with shoes on. What's up, Michelle? 6'7". Michelle, I appreciate you tuning in to our NBA draft coverage yesterday and the day before. I'll be live on our Chat Sports channel next week. I'll be live for our Chat Sports channel next week for NBA free agency, even though free agency is pretty much dead. There's no good free agents. We got Norman Powell. LeBron, maybe. Free agency is such a joke. Thanks, Adam Silver. I'm so mad we didn't get Mara, and now the Thunder got Mara. 7-3. Tell JD to host a show for one game. Dude, I would love to go to a Patriots game. If there was one Pats game I'd love to go to, I would love to go to that Broncos game. Saturday, the middle of December. I love going to Foxborough when it's cold. Love going to Foxborough when it's cold. Except when it's raining. I hate when it's raining. Last time I went to Gillette was back in 2022. And we lost. Of course, I've been watching the World Cup. No, Kayshon. No. You should, Calvin. Last game I went to was a Thursday night football game against the Buffalo Bills in 2022. That's the last Patriots game I went to. We wore our throwbacks, and Marcus Jones scored a touchdown on offense. There's a little screen pass. A little screen pass to him, and he took off. I was like, who is this speedy MRFer? Have I pre-ordered GTA 6? So, like, I'll ask this question. Why do people still pre-order games? If you get bonus stuff, I'll do it. If not, then I'm just going to wait.
Yeah, it's all preference.
Yeah, well, Calvin, I understand back in the day, like, I used to pre-order games all the time. Like, in the Call of Duty era, when it was, like, Black Ops 2 and MW3, you would go with your parents because you had to be 17, and I wasn't 17 at the time, and you would stand outside GameStop and wait. I stood outside GameStop and waited for 2K16 to drop, and pre-ordering that game. Pre-ordering games was awesome back in the day because you're getting a physical copy. Now it's just, you click a button, you just download it digitally. You sent in an amazing question? That is an amazing question, and you are 100% right. Exactly, Peppers. Oh, what's the wild trade idea? They had us trading Kayshon Boutte in a third-round pick for Michael Wilson. Very stupid. Bleacher Report made that up. Bleacher Report made it up. People say there's going to be a physical disc on December. I mean, yeah, but now you have to, like, you still have to be online. Didn't have to wait in line for the Dreamcast. I got my Xbox One day one. I got my PS2 Christmas 2001. It's the first Christmas I remember. And I got the PS2, I got NASCAR 2002, I got Crazy Taxi, and Jimmy Neutron for the PS2. Those are my 3 games that I got.
I'm trying to think. I think my first console, mine was the 360.
Damn, you're young.
Yeah, I know. What did I get with that? I'm trying to remember.
Kayshon, I'm 28. I'm 28 years old. But I have a very, very good memory. 360, you waited 24 hours. We should have got Myles Garrett for what, though? We got A.J. Brown. We're just going to... Because what'd they give? 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett? 3?
1.
Just 1? Oh, and then they gave Jared Verse.
Yeah, and then I thought one of them was a conditional.
It might have been a conditional.
It's either the second or third round pick, obviously. Can't have a first conditional.
So double S, Crazy Taxi dropped on the 360 back in 2010, 2011. I had the 9th highest score in the world on the Xbox 360 for Crazy Taxi. RJ Haley, do I read the chat? I'm reading the chat right now. We're all just I'm talking to the chat. We're not even talking about the Patriots. Chat comes up slow. I mean, not really. I mean, it's kind of hard when you got 100 people talking in here. So, like, I try to get to everybody. Of course I talk to everybody in here. You want a shout out? I'll give you a shout out. We wouldn't be doing these live shows if you guys wouldn't get involved. Did the Heat overpay for Giannis? No. Jaime Jaquez is mid. Tyler Hero is the most mid player in the NBA. And what is his name? Yakachonis? Maybe. Kalel Ware? Underachiever in the couple years that he's been in the league. Jaquez? You're trying to troll me, Bruce. It's not working. Halo Reach was great, Chris Clark. Your squad just got LaMelo. Congratulations on the Timberwolves getting LaMelo. You got no bench. You got great starting five. You also got rid of Julius Randle. He's out for the season because he tore his Achilles. He's going to be out for the season. Yeah. Let's go, JR Gaming. And Michelle, I'm busy with so many other things. Like, I'm on NBA offseason content now. I'm doing draft. We're trying to get to Titans videos, but Patriots is priority. I got to screenshot that, RJ. Just give me a second. Hold on. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I got it. I'm not a Celtics fan, so. How many edge rushers do we currently have? 6. But we got 3 good ones, if you don't want to count Gabe Akis because he hasn't signed. But we're getting a little off topic here. But how many questions do we have? We got plenty. Let me send this to Smitty. Oh, man. Hold on. Desktop. Don't forget the super chats, too. There we go. Beat your heels last shot. Yeah, well, I will say, Chris Clark, you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Boss, I ain't leaving. What do you mean? I ain't going anywhere. The hell? I'm not leaving. What you mean? Trev, I have an Xbox. I don't have a PS5. Who said I'm leaving? I ain't going anywhere. We got a whole football season ahead of us, brother. I mean, after this cut, we're going to log off. All right. Chugs. What's up, Chugs? No. No trash talk. Because someone said Alper's leaving. I'm like, I ain't going anywhere. That's no. It's the worst day of my life. It was the worst day of my life. That'd be the best day of my life. All right, guys. Even though we are starting our mailbag, you guys can still get in on the mailbag by either super chatting or using hashtag Patriots. So, keep asking your questions, even though if we don't get to it, I apologize. Maybe we'll get to it after the show. But let's get into our mailbag. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports, presented by PrizePicks. I am your host, Brett Alper. And as we do on every single live show to end our last segment, we get into our Patriots mailbag, answering questions to Patriots fan from a Patriots fan myself. But before we get into it, I always like to ask you guys a question, and we're the dog days of summer. I'm watching old Patriots highlights. I'm watching nonstop football, and it's just making me excited. And I can't wait anymore. So let me know down in the comments section. Scale your excitement for the 2026 NFL season. Scale it for me 1 to 100. I'm already at 110. So go let me know down in the comments. Let's get to our first super chat of the day. G-Boy Films. Would you rather get another wide receiver or get an edge rusher? Me, I'd rather get an edge rusher and keep the booty. Let's effing go, Pats Nation. G-Boy, I'm with you 100%. You add an edge rusher. Because right now, we do not know the situation with Gabe Akis. He, as this recording, has still yet to sign his contract, for for the 2026 NFL season. He's the only second-round pick that hasn't. So right now you have Draymond Jones, Harold Landry, who still is rehabbing that knee that he suffered last season, and Elijah Ponder. You have Braden Swinson, you have Xavier Holmes, Jesse Luketa, but those guys aren't like your true rotational players. So I would go out and get an edge rusher. Who are the edge rushers available? That's the question that you have to ask, and we got to go look at, because there's rumors that Joey Bosa is going to retire, and Matthew Judon's available, but he really isn't that productive. You go out and get Zadarius Smith. We'll have to wait and see. Appreciate you, though, G-Boy Films. Goose Fuzz! If the Patriots need to improve their linebacker depth, what do you think about Patriots legend Kyle Van Noy returning to New England? I would like that. I actually would be down for Kyle Van Noy returning to the New England Patriots. He was great during the dynasty era. I think it was his 2018 season. He was great. He was also really good when he went to the Baltimore Ravens. As an edge rusher, can play him on the outside. He's still, I know he's up there in age, in his 30s, but I think he could give a little more something than probably we would see with Matthew Judon, who got 0 sacks last year, who was outran by Drake May for a touchdown. I would be cool with it. I'm 100% down for a reunion with Kyle Van Noy. Appreciate your question, Goose Fuzz. Michelle! One of our real ones, our mods here on Patriots Today. Do you think the reason why Gonzo hasn't been paid yet is because he's waiting for Witherspoon to get paid, because he deserves more money than Witherspoon, because he is a way better player? I think that's part of it, Michelle. I think that has a little bit to do with some of the things that are going on, but I would say I think it's the Patriots that don't want to pay him, or they're kind of trying to figure out how they're going to pay him, because they're also worried about, hey, we got to pay Drake May. But the Patriots could have made him an offer, and he also could be waiting for Devin Witherspoon to get paid, because he might see who's going to reset the market. Who is going to be that player to reset the market? It's going to be Devin Witherspoon, because whoever gets first, if it's Gonzo signing, then Witherspoon gets it. If Witherspoon signs him, then Gonzo gets more money. But I 100% agree. Gonzo is way better than Devin Witherspoon. I 100% agree. But I think that they're bouncing off each other. They also have the same agent, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. I love Drake May. Not as much as I do. Any UDFAs that have a possibility of making the Patriots roster? So there are a couple. I kind of was hoping that either Kyle Dixon would make it, or maybe Jacob Rizzi, because there is always a UDFA that makes the Patriots roster. If you guys haven't known, at least one UDFA has made the roster in 21 out of the last 22 seasons. You had, I think it was Del Pettis in 2024. In 2025, obviously, it was Efton Chisholm and Elijah Ponder. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there was one back in 2023. Got to go back in 2022, but I remember the last couple of years. But there is always someone to show out in rookie minicamp, in training camp, to make his presence known. And the one guy I think has a very, very good possibility of making the roster is tight end coming out of Illinois, and that is Tanner Arkin. And granted, I didn't think that he had a possibility of making the roster at first, but after the Julian Hill kind of injury, then it just totally makes sense. And we'll get into this more in just a second, guys, but first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. I use Prize Picks every single day, ladies and gentlemen. And why? Well, because it's the best place to win cash while watching sports. Basketball, unfortunately, it's over. I get to celebrate a parade, but the fun doesn't stop on Prize Picks. We got the big soccer tournament going on right now. We got big golf tournaments going on, baseball, and also motorsports, esports, you name it, it's on Prize Picks. You can also do season-long NFL lineups. And I love making daily fantasy lineups. You guys can follow me on the app to see all my lineups at The Real Alper. Get the picks before they get posted on the show. Also, follow your friends, share lineups, or explore your favorite celebrity lineups. So we got a lineup here, the season-long one that I always have for you guys. A.J. Brown, the more on his receiving yards at 999. And then we got the more on Drake May touchdowns at 24.5. And we got the more on Travion Henderson rushing yards at 699.5. 50 to win 390. And you guys can make a lineup just like that. All you got to do is just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. There's a new user offer. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Link will be in the comments and description of today's video. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. So going back to Tanner Arkin, why do I think he's going to make the Patriots roster? Well, if you look at his stats, I mean, nothing's really eye-popping, like 13 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, but it's those PFF grades that you look at. The run blocking grade is absolutely amazing. In 13 games, he had almost an 80 PFF grade, and the pass blocking grade was also still solid at 54.5. You need a blocking tight end. Because now Julian Hill was supposed to be your blocking tight end that you gave 3 years, $18 million for. When you look at what the Patriots have right now, Hunter Henry and Eli Raridan, Patriots always keep 3 tight ends on their roster. You need a third guy. I don't know if C.J. Dupree is going to be that blocking guy. Jack Westover has some ability for what we saw him playing that fullback position, but I think they really, truly like Tanner Arkin, and he has also shown out a little bit in mandatory minicamp. I truly think that he has a chance to make this team. If we go into training camp and he can prove that he is better than undrafted free agent C.J. Dupree, if he proves that he is better than Jack Westover, who is also on the bubble, then he automatically goes to number 1, and he is going to make the 53, unless the Patriots, of course, bring in probably a veteran tight end, which they could, but they also haven't done it yet, and maybe that's because they like Tanner Arkin. I'll ask you guys, though, will Arkin make the 53-man roster? You let me know down in the comments section. Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. I definitely are going to think yes. One corrupt file. And then after that, JD, let's get to that other super chat that we had. Is week 1 a win or a loss? Obviously, week 1 is going up against the Seattle Seahawks, and it's a Super Bowl rematch. Look, a lot of people are going to say that we are going to lose in Seattle. And I personally think that it's going to be a win. I look back a couple years ago at what Detroit did against the Kansas City Chiefs, and Detroit was giving no chance. Well, they went in because obviously people kind of get really excited for the season. You see the banner go up, and you're kind of just thinking about that the whole entire time. Well, they lost, the Seahawks lost their Super Bowl MVP in Kenneth Walker. They lost one of their edge rushers. I can't think of his name right now. And they also lost Kobe Bryant. So they lost a couple players. It's going to take a little bit for them to get in the rhythm. And right now, the Patriots, they've improved at every aspect of the game. They could go into Seattle with a ton of time to prepare and go and kind of upset the Super Bowl champs. It's a rematch. They got a chip on their shoulder. Drake May's got a chip on his shoulder. They are losing a couple of players. The Patriots have gained more talent. I really think that the Patriots could have a chance in beating Seattle in Seattle. Think about what the Kansas City Chiefs did to us a couple years ago when Kareem Hunt went for like 200 yards. Remember what the Detroit Lions did to the Kansas City Chiefs when they had their banner night. That's exactly what we're going to do to Seattle when we spoil their banner night in September. Doughboy! How we doing, Doughboy? Appreciate your $10 super chat. How do we think we fix the offensive line? I know what you're saying. Or do you think it's ready to go? How do you think we fix the offensive line, or do you think it's ready to go? There we go. Give me a second here. I think that they have already fixed the offensive line. You have Will Campbell, who I still have trust in. Look, he was extremely hurt, and he said after the Super Bowl that he had to rehab for 5 days a week, or it might have even been 7 days a week for a couple months, rehabbing that knee. That just tells me that he shouldn't even been playing in the damn game. So he's going to be 100% healthy. You grabbed Elijah Vera-Tucker, who I think is the best left guard in football when healthy. Unfortunately, he's never healthy. Hopefully, he'll be healthy for week 1. I'm assuming he will be. You move Jared Wilson to his original spot that he played at Georgia where he thrived. You're getting him in there. Mike Owenu has already been solid. Morgan Moses, you've been solid. And if not, guess what? You have Caleb Lomu, who I think is going to be an absolute dog. That is how the offensive line is fixed. I think it's ready to go. If not, then you put Caleb Lomu in At left tackle, you move Will Campbell to guard, and you see what happens because Mike Owenu will probably get traded if that happens. But we'll have to wait and see. I like the offensive line as it is. Appreciate your $10 super chat, dough boy. 123 martial artist. Do you think Akis has the potential to be a Max Crosby type talent? I'm going to say I don't know because I haven't seen him even practice. I mean, I loved him coming out of college. I loved the draft pick for Gabe Akis, a guy that is definitely going to dominate the line of scrimmage. He bulldozes. He's got that strong strength ability and the ability to stop the run a little bit better than some of the scouts have said. The problem is he hasn't signed his contract. And it looks like he's got a little bit of an injury history because he had a procedure on his knee. He's had a hamstring injury. Apparently he has a stress fracture in his foot, and he has a torn labrum. I hope you're healthy. But if he's fully healthy, he has the possibility and the potential. I wouldn't say Max Crosby, but I would definitely say a rotational starter that has the capability to get 10 sacks per game. He's got to sign the contract. That's all it is to it. Appreciate your question, 123 martial artist. Dan Parson. Who is a rise after mandatory minicamp? Well, there's one guy that I've talked about a lot, and then if you guys were watching the live show, I took a picture with him. But the guy that has been looking really good at minicamp is Pop Douglas. And Pop Douglas is someone that has been an up and down for the New England Patriots. He had a great year in 2024, and it felt like in 2025 he was up and he was also down. It was up and down because sometimes he would get 6 catches and sometimes he would get 1 target the whole entire game. But during minicamp, he has been Drake May's top target. Evan Lazar said this about Pop at minicamp. He said he is putting together an impressive spring. Douglas had a great run-up to the 2025 season as well before his slot snaps were reduced to play digs inside. Douglas' quickness and speed separate him from man coverage and stand out among the other wide receivers. The question is whether it translates in the regular season. And when you have your wide receiver depth chart now, look, last year, granted, you did play Stephon Diggs in the slot most of the time. With A.J. Brown, you could literally have him play slot. You could have him play outside. You could have him play on the inside. He could be anywhere. But I really like what Pop Douglas has done. Last year, though, he was the top target for Drake May in minicamp. So we'll have to wait and see. But I hope he has a great season. He's going into the last year of his contract. And I don't know if the Patriots are going to keep him. He's also on the bubble to make the 53-man roster. He was considered one of the potential cut candidates going into this year. We'll see who those 6 wide receivers are to make the 53-man roster, because right now, I don't think the Patriots are going to keep 7, and they have 7 on the roster. But there's also a chance that we trade Kayshon Boutte. I want everybody to stay because I love everybody. I have formed so many emotional connections with all these players. Not personally, but just watching them play. But it's a business, and somebody is not going to make this roster, and we'll have to wait and see if it's Efton Chisholm or if it's Pop Douglas. But I'm excited for seeing Pop Douglas next season. I think he's going to have a little bit better year than he did in 2025. And if you agree with me, go ahead and hit that thumbs up icon, ladies and gentlemen. And also go ahead and hit that sub button. If you want to join our mailbag, we do this every single Thursday live show. So don't miss out on a single thing. Hit that sub button right now and also turn on those notifications so you know exactly when we go live. And as always, let's go Pats. Boom. Can you see the pic of me and Pop Douglas, Michelle says? I can pull it up on my phone again. I did send it to you. I need a haircut so bad, man. I can't wait for tomorrow. Shave it all off. Do you think we should pay a first and second and Boutte for Crosby? No. I'm sorry, guys, but we can all put... No, Michelle, I sent it to JD. I sent it to JD. Talking to JD here. That's on me. That's on me. We got to put the Crosby stuff aside. Because one, Crosby makes a ton of money. Like, we have to also consider the fact that Drake May is going to get paid next year. Gonzo's getting paid this year. Milton Williams is also getting paid. A.J. Brown's cap hit is going up. you can't pay Max Crosby all this money. And if you go and trade for him a first, second, your future's thrown out the door. Exactly, Calvin. We made the decision to get AJ over Max Crosby. You don't give away first-round picks like they're candy. You keep them. No, you don't have to say you're bad. You don't have to say you're bad. Like, you get that question all the time, and people talk about it nonstop, but I'm just being realistic. I'm just being 100% realistic. I just don't see the Patriots getting Max Crosby. Now, if we did not trade for A.J. Brown, 110%. 110% you go for Max Crosby, but you traded for A.J. Brown. There we go. Yeah, there's me and Pop. There's me and good old Pop Douglas. Pop, if you look in close, that man's grill is insane. Yeah, the 2027 draft is stacked. That's why it was a 2028 first, because we were like, this draft is stacked. So we're keeping that 27 first. You could have the 2028 first, and that's that. How much should we pay Gonzo? I say $135 million. Give him his $35 million contract. Give him his 5 years or 4 years, whatever it is. Give him 34, 35 a year, and call it a day. Trent McDuffie got, I think, 31, and I think Gonzo is better than Trent McDuffie. And we got Broncos TV in the chat. Everybody boo Moose. I'm tired of this man. Yeah, you got all the time because I stole your producer. Why didn't you guys? Yeah, ask Moses. Why did they sign anybody? Why did they sign anybody? Miles Salute looking ass. Everybody boo this man! Gonzo Love, I don't know if Tyreek Hill is going to even play this year. He snapped his leg in half. Logan, of course you can get a shout out, my guy. Of course you could get a shout out. Broncos TV, Moose says rent-free. Moose says rent-free, but he has Broncos fans tweeting at me. Broncos fans tweet at me. And we want to talk about rent-free. Like.
Oh, this is so entertaining. I love this.
Take your horse logo on the leash. How does the QB's ankle look? Hey, look. Yeah, he can be training very good, Gonzo, but is he going to be NFL ready? Because right now, I mean, Gabe Akis is posting himself training, and he hasn't been cleared for anything. And no one knows. We'll see. I mean, there's a reason why, I don't understand. Who is Moose, by the way? A loser, Timothy. By the way, he's a loser. He hosts Broncos TV. Broncos Breakdown. Yeah, the Broncos Breakdown host. The biggest loser at Chat Sports. I mean, I hurt my ankle a month ago. I'm finally good. I'm going to play basketball for the first time today. I'm like, can we do good? Can we good? Are we good? How's T-Rex Will Campbell? Yeah, exactly. Boo him. That's all you need to know is just boo him. Pop ain't chugging beer shoes. It's so funny because, the Broncos are in for such a rude awakening. They truly are. Like, you would think after losing in the AFC Championship game and also having so many one-score games that you would think, hey, we have a good foundation. We have a solid foundation, but we are on the borderline of being really good or really bad. And they said, nah, screw it, we'll run it back. Like, Jalen Waddle is a very, very injury-prone wide receiver. And they're going to learn very quickly. They're going to learn very quickly. Broncos fans are in for the Broncos are in for a rude awakening. They're in for a rude awakening. If they would have went out and signed like 4 or 5 guys, they would be the best team in football. They lost John Franklin Myers. Who else did they lose? Dre Greenlaw, PJ Locke. We'll see if Jonathan Cooper goes to jail. That's 3 key players, or that's 4. I can't count. That's 4 key players right there. You see the man, he says, if we get a $50 super chat, he'll leave. Nah, I don't time him out. He doesn't time me out. But that's 3 players that they've lost. They didn't upgrade anything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we put him in timeout. He can just walk right in. Yeah, Michelle, that is insane. And what an idiot. If it's true. Us and Zach Wilson? We're going to kidnap and rob people. What's new, 123 martial artists? They've been delusional since they got Peyton Manning years ago. They lost so many players. They lost all these players. They barely beat the Chiefs twice. They barely beat the Commanders. They got lucky on a 2-point conversion. They barely beat the Jets. And Drake May threw for 5 touchdowns and won half against the Jets. Ecuador beat Germany? Really? They barely beat the Giants. We blew the Giants out. Like, I would understand if they were blowing these teams out, but you barely beat them. What the Chiefs did 2 years ago was they barely beat the Raiders. They would barely beat every single team, even though they made the Super Bowl. Then they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. And you saw that, hey, those one-score games, they flip. It's a different year. It's a different year. You aren't going to win those one-score games again. So, how do you win? How do you improve after those one-score games? You go out and sign players and not trade a first-round pick for an injury-prone wide receiver. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Yeah, I could just let Moose go on and on and on. On and on and on. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But I'm just going to, like, my forehead. Maybe it's just because I'm going bald. I don't think I'm going bald. I haven't lost any hair much. Maybe that's why I'm 5'10". You got all forehead. Got all forehead. Of course, Calvin. But, all right, guys. We're going to get on out of here. We'll let Moose he can cope all he wants that his team isn't going to make the playoffs. We also bet $200, by the way. I bet him $200 that the Broncos wouldn't make the playoffs because I'm that confident. I'm that confident that they won't. But we will be live next week. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging like I did last week. I'm not going to another parade. Hopefully the next parade I go to will be a Patriots Super Bowl parade next February. But we're a month away from training camp. 1 month. It is going to go like that. It's going to go very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. And hopefully it gets here, and then we have the time of our lives because we actually get to talk about football. So we will see you guys next week. And as always, let's go Pats.